What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to try and ponder the question, what's better, Elmer's glue, super glue, or hot glue? In for the greater...
And the answer is it depends on the material that you're using. Because if you use super glue on foam board, that's going to eat at the foam board and then you're screwed.
Right.
If you use Elmer's glue on metal, it's not going to stick.
Right.
So it depends. Actually, none of them would really stick on metal. There's certain materials that just don't stick with Elmer's glue.
Yeah, but I was talking about taste.
And this is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put a question in front of your question, because we get those questions first. Answer his question. What glue tastes the best? Cement?
Rubber cement? Don't actually try it.
You could actually get high off of certain types of cements.
Yeah.
Smelling the fumes. Don't do that. That's not financial advice. This question comes from Magos Dominus. Is GW getting too woke?
Woke. I feel like nowadays most companies are trying to go for the woke.
I guess you have to define what woke is.
Right.
Are they trying to be more inclusive? I think they all are because you sell more like that. So is GW trying to do that? Sure. They're trying to get more. They're trying to blunt their sharp edges by throwing in the Warhammer Adventure, including different the little the Jacaro working with the kids to show it's not that xenophobic.
Right. But I mean they were always inclusive of Jacaros.
That's true.
Yeah, even though they were kind of used as a slave, really.
Yeah, and I think the problem with Games Workshop is that sometimes it takes on this idea of we want to be the Apple of miniature wargaming. They focus more on appearance, and sometimes because of that they fail to realize that no, you have a really good game, you have a really good IP, because we love the grim darkness, we love that Blanchitsu style, which is going away.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's sometimes by being woke, quote unquote, or being more inclusive, you do get some cool things out of it. Yeah. Look at the sprue for the Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
You've got different head types, different weapons, different armaments. The covers of novels include more darker skinned characters and stuff like that. You have more females becoming the main lead in novels and other things. Because before it's it's a space marine. Oh, it's now you have books about, oh, look, there's a planetary governor who happens to be a female, or we're looking at a blank who's a female and stuff like that. So you do get more of a different perspective on things. But at the same time, it's how does that work with orcs?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it only really affects the humans and human-like Xenos. But when it comes to orcs, Tau, Necrons, you can't really do much with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not oh, this Necron wants to help out humanity. That's going against their lore.
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel there is a line that should not be crossed because it will then blend in or destabilize the lore, the hierarchy that was built so long ago that makes a faction that faction.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are novels in the Warhammer Adventures where you have Necrons working alongside the kids, the main characters, and it's well, why would they be doing that?
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all part of the growth of a company, and at the end of the day, because Games Workshop or Warhammer 40K is so sandboxy, you can make of it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just because GW stopped publishing the Blanchitsu articles in their White Dwarf doesn't mean that you have to stop. There are Facebook accounts or groups and stuff like that just are very specific and very if you're about this type of aspect of 40K, then here we are, let's talk about it.
This is your niche.
Yeah, so I think that is going to end up being really good in the long run for Games Workshop and for us, because it's when we finally get to the level of Dune or Star Wars, where Warhammer 40K gets their own movie, we're gonna be the OGs, just talking to these new kids who are barely starting to play 40K.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be fun. So all of this wokeness is because there is growth in the community. Yeah. Next question comes from, what do you got?
This one's by Frere Fohammer. Who would win in a pole dancing contest? Marnius Calgar or Dante?
Dante, because he's a blood angel.
Yeah. He's going to use that blood to slicken everything up. And, yeah.
And they're supposed to be pretty boys. Not as much as like the Emperor's children, but at the end of the day, like, they're vampires. Vampires are known as being like seductive. Like,
right. Calgar's got big hands.
So, more grip.
Yeah. But he has lost 3 of his limbs before, so.
Has he really?
Yeah, he got sliced up off by a Tyranid swarm lord.
Oh, damn. Next question.
This one's by the Harrian Royer. Did the Necron Tier's souls have a presence in the warp? You know, before they actually sold their souls to the Catan. And if so, were they also responsible for helping create the Chaos Gods minus Slanesh?
If they did, it was probably like the Tau, where it's like not even noticeable.
Right, because they didn't have any psychic abilities as far as we know, because it was a battle of psychic with the old ones against not psychic and technology with the Necron Tier.
Right.
So yeah, as far as we know, probably not. It probably didn't register in the warp, which, like, why would the Catan want their souls if they're so like tiny and insignificant? Shouldn't they have gone to like a better, more psychically powerful race? But tomato, it ended up working out somewhat for the Catan's favor, at least. It's like, yeah, we get to eat your souls and take advantage of you.
Yeah. This next question comes from Theo Bratu Todor. A soul can be saved after consumed by a god, or why not a sister of silence? I don't really know what that means.
Say that again?
A soul can be saved after consumed by a god, or why not a sister of silence? I think you're asking, like, if because the sisters of silence are blanks.
They don't have souls.
Yeah, so when they die, what happens to their soul if it can't be consumed by a god?
Yeah, they don't have one to begin with, so nothing happens to it. Their physical body just dies.
Yeah.
Quizás ya cayó.
Yeah. You just disintegrate. There's nothing but a memory, and even that is gonna someday die. Mm-hmm. Unless you make friends with Belisarius' Call, because he's gonna live forever.
Yeah, there you go. Remember me.
Next question.
This one is by Simon Teese. What would happen if the Inquisition somehow found a full-on heresy within the High Lords of Terra? What would the potential repercussions be for the Imperium as a whole?
If the High Lords of Terra found what?
Like, let's say all the High Lords of Terra like worked together and they were being heretical, and the Inquisition found this out. What would happen?
Oh, just another Inquisition. So that's kind of what happened with the Reign of Blood. Goge Van Dyer claiming that he's the Emperor. That's why they were called the Brides of the Emperor, the Sisters of Battleware. So he kind of usurped that concept of, like, these are my women, and they are protecting the Emperor, me. So yeah, Civil War.
Yeah. Unless they do it sneakily and use the assassin temples to take them out. But it would probably be like something akin to a civil war.
Yeah. This next question comes from Prince Jaharis. If both of you guys had the Kroot power, what living creature would you eat in order to gain their power/ability? Both animals from the 40K universe, in Ogren's strength, Herd's time warping abilities, etc. In our universe, like a dolphin, cheetah speed. For the sake of this thought experiment, let's assume you get the ability immediately. Unlike in the lore where the Kroots have to eat the animal over a long period of time, and each generation gets more and more of the living things and abilities. Also, well, let's answer that then, I guess.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Surprisingly, the only animal I can think of is an octopus.
You'd want to eat an octopus?
Yeah.
To gain, like, suction cup arms?
Yeah, suction cup, bendy arms. Also, they can camouflage. They're super smart.
They could change their body size and stuff.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. And I think they could, like... No, I don't think they could live forever. Those are lobsters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think octopus would be pretty cool.
I would do a lobster. I would molt though,
Yeah.
so I'd have to like peel off my skin and regrow new armor
You'd get your ass eaten.
all the time.
Lobster tail.
And then in the 40K universe,
A Kroot.
you would eat a Kroot to become a Kroot.
Right, so I could have that ability again. But this time it would take generations, not just instant.
Okay, then you could become a shaper.
Yeah. No, I think it would have to be a... Oh, what's that thing called? The... Ooh. The Zote.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'd be interesting to see what the hive mind's actually thinking.
Yep.
But scary at the same time.
Yeah. Even though, did that get retcon? I think that might have gotten retcon. Yeah.
But the old Zotes.
Yeah, the old ones. This is a tough one because I was thinking like orcs, but then I don't want to be like super aggressive, and there's really nothing that the orcs have that like I would want. Space Marines would be cool because then you could just be super super strong. But I'm trying to think what would be probably something with psychers, like an Eldar. I would eat an Eldar just so I could have psychic powers, not so that I can like take over the world, but just so I can do really cool party tricks. Like watch me spin this quarter with my mind.
Interesting.
Or prognosticate. You're going to be the drunkest. You're going to shit your pants.
No.
And
Oh,
then,
you said he had a second part, yeah.
Also, has there been an example of the lore... Has there been an example in the lore of the crew eating Space Marines? And if so, what happens when they do? Not in the lore, no.
Yeah. First of all, to have a crew kill a Space Marine would take a lot. Yeah, I can't really see that happening. But if it did, they'd probably get stronger. If they got any of the gene seed abilities, that'd be really badass. Spitting acid, eating other things, and gaining memories as well as the traits and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I agree. And he says, keep up the good work, guys. Enjoying your PB&J costumes. You guys have a great sense of humor. Where y'all aren't afraid of appearing silly or making jokes at your own expense. You'll two have great chemistry, and it definitely shows. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a very long time, so there's a lot of cringe on the internet of us, so
yeah,
you kind of have to laugh at yourself.
It'd be like that.
Next question.
This one's by Erza Swan. Is there or can there ever be an orc war boss, weird boy, or some type of psychic war boss?
Yep. So there's one that walks around with like snakes, and I think he's a playable character. Zogwarts, I want to say. Yeah.
He could be a war boss?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And if not, he used to be in previous editions. He used to be part of the HQ thing. He might be a beast of war. Or no, what are they called? Like, what's God School? He's not
Prophet of the Wall?
No, but like there's a category. So it's like HQ, but then there's
Supreme Commander or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Where like if you play them, they have to be your HQ.
Yeah. Next question.
Trogdor 420. How gangsta is Warhammer 40K? Is having a pile of shame like having a stable full of gardening tools?
Gardening, what? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard of that too. But I guess it's like if you have a stable full of gardening tools, you always have the right tool for the job.
Also, if you're trying to compare it to being gangster, why don't you just like compare it to like something that is actual gangster, like, you know, selling drugs or committing crimes? No, Games Workshop is not gangster, or 40K is not gangster. Having a pile of shame is just it means you're lazy.
Yeah. It's like I buy more than what I can do.
Yeah.
I overestimate myself.
And 100% piles of shames are just like that whole that urge to buy, because that happens to me all the time, where like if we go to the Games Workshops or to the Warhammer store, or we go to like a hobby store, I want to buy something, but it's just the act of purchasing, not so much the actual sitting down and painting and building these models that I'm attracted to. It's just the act of buying, which is scary and bad.
Yeah. The need to consume. He's a Tyranid at heart.
Yes.
Yeah, but let us know if you guys prefer the actual like hobby side of 40K rather than everything else. Because when you go to a store, obviously you see the finished product. You see the box, and you see all the awesomely painted minis, and you almost kind of forget that it's like, hey, I gotta clip these, like prime them, paint them, assemble them. It's like this is a process that takes time before I can even get them on the playing field.
Yep.
So it's like, if you guys enjoy that part of the hobby more, let me know why. Because obviously conversion is a huge part of it. The whole making it your own, like adding magnets and making it like a dynamic pose and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see.
This question comes from Gentle Rain. Nice costume. Thanks.
Yeah, gracias.
Laughed really hard as always. This time I must ask, have you ever put peanut butter or jam on your arm and intentionally cleaned it with just the toilet paper?
What?
No, that's weird, man.
I don't like feeling sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I remember playing basketball and I get all sweaty and I hated the ride home after that because it's like I just feel nasty.
Your crevices stick, which is kind of annoying. And then you peel off, or like you extend your arm and you can feel the skin just peeling where you bend. He has a bonus question. You cut it short and did not give us a performance of peanut butter jelly time. We all know Hughes was dancing and making fun of that video. Yeah, I can't do peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, the last time I did that, I threw out my back.
Yeah. And plus, isn't it Brian that does that from Family Guy, and he's wearing a banana costume?
Mm-hmm. And maracas.
We don't have either.
That you know of.
Yeah. You just bust out the maracas. Next question.
This one's by Damian Henderson. Since Adeptus Astartes can be upgraded to Primaris, can Chaos Space Marines be converted as well? I mean, if the shoe fits, right?
Then wear it.
Yeah. I mean, they're made of the same material. It's a neophyte with gene seed and augmentation. So theoretically, yes. But I don't think Chaos has their hands on that type of technology yet. Or maybe they do. Fabius Bile works in mysterious ways. But as of now, well, we don't know yet, because this past Saturday, there was Warhammer World or something like that, where there's a bunch of stuff being revealed for 40K. But I don't think Chaos was on that list. So at least as of right now, there is no Chaos Primaris Marine, but that may change in the future.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool, because then you get to focus on, like, you know, just new models for Khorne, new models for Noise Marine, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they make them, like, the same size as the Primaris, hopefully.
Right.
But there's no... I feel like GW needs to shed that idea that, like, no, there has to be Primaris versions of everything.
Yeah, there has to be a Chaos version of every Loyalist.
Yeah.
No.
Well, kind of like the Beast Snaggers. I feel like the Beast Snaggers were Primaris orcs, and it's like, well, you were going to give us regular new orc boys anyways. Why not just do that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Business.
And one more question. Do you have one?
This one is by Damian Henderson again. What would happen if Lucius the Eternal kills himself? Would that destroy him permanently? So Lucius the Eternal is a Slaneshi follower that has been blessed by Slanesh to the point where if he dies, the person that killed him, as long as they feel some type of like honor or any emotion from his death, they will slowly begin to morph and become Lucius the Eternal. And the previous face of that person that killed him becomes a face on his armor of souls.
And in that way, he's immortal.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if he kills himself, he just becomes himself.
Right. He just gets another face on his own face on his armor.
Yeah. It'd be cool to just see it, and then he just, like, kind of, like, dies, and then opens his eyes, and now he has another face.
Mm-hmm.
Pans out, pans in, pans out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he'd kill himself, because, I mean, why?
Yeah.
The only way I can see it happening is if, let's say he's fighting against, like, Gilliman, and Gilliman's about to stab him, but he, like, cuts off his head before Gilliman can kill him. Then he'll come back alive as Lucius again.
Yeah, because he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he won't. Maybe that's the way to kill him.
Yeah, have him kill himself.
Yeah.
A perpetualness in the 40K era is weird.
It is, yeah. There's many ways around it.
Mm-hmm.
The best way is just become a naked mole rat.
Yeah.
They're biologically immortal, I think.
Does that mean, what's his name, Rufus from Kim Possible will outlive Kim and Ron?
Yeah, sadly. I mean, they can still die of diseases and stuff, though. Other things stepping on them. Diabetes.
Yeah. Gangrene.
Yeah, because he eats a lot of nachos, right? Like, that's their whole thing.
I think so.
But those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, this has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
And we are out.
Oh, if you could put my